And by the way, undoubtedly 27 people in chat will now claim that they all got the game when only one person possibly could. They always do that too. They always do that too. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, following up on our discussion yesterday, okay, I cannot use an internal capture card in either of my PCs because these pre-built PCs skimp on the motherboards. The motherboards are not good enough to run internal capture cards, which is unfortunate. Obviously, if I had built the PC myself and picked the individual components, I absolutely would have picked components that would have been able to run an internal capture card. If I had gone to one of these companies where you specifically picked the components, I would have picked better motherboards. Problem was, guess what? That costs way more. Really. I don't want to build my own PC and screw it up, and I don't want to pay for someone else to build it because they charge more money. Okay? So, FYI, I have to use an external capture card. And based on all the recommendations, there's two. There was one top-of-the-line Elgato capture card and one top-of-the-line AverMedia capture card. I went for the AverMedia. The only reason I've used AverMedia for the last 10 years and don't really have problems with them. I've used 3 different AverMedia cards, and they're all pretty darn good. So, I decided I'll just go with AverMedia again. Okay? So, here it is. The AverMedia Live Gamer Ultra 2.1. Okay? For some bizarre reason, it has LEDs on the front. Don't ask me why. I don't know why. Who would stare at their capture device LEDs. This one is pretty darn good. So, it captures all the way up to 4K resolution at 60 frames per second. So that's pretty much the epitome of what you would want to do right now. Yes, some rigs will do higher than that, but who's going to watch and record and upload that? It would be so tremendously high bandwidth and file size, it's not even feasible right now. Maybe in 5-10 years, not right now. Okay? So pretty much a top-of-the-line capture device, all right? Has pass-through as well, up to 144 hertz, which is insanely cool. So if I ever did do something at 4K 120, I could see it at 120, but still capture it at 60. Okay? Now, of course, it has bells and whistles and features and all of that. Yes, it uses HDMI 2.1. Luckily, so do all my new PCs, so that works out fine, right? Supported resolutions. Yeah, 2160p, 1440p, 1080p, 1080i. Who the hell would not want progressive? Who would do interlaced? Yikes. And then, of course, it goes down all the way down to, like, 480. Recording formats, YUI2, NV12, RGB24, and PG10. I don't think that will matter because ultimately I'm going to use that and I'm going to use my graphics card or my processor to then encode the videos and streams into different qualities, you know, the different codecs and stuff. It actually does have separate audio input and output as well. You can input from like a headphone jack if you wanted to, but I guess you don't have to. So pretty cool, right? I mean, pretty good. So here's the deal. I ordered this capture device. It came today, came overnight. And I'm like, oh, this is dope. It came overnight. We could actually unbox it, and we could hook it up, and we could use it today. Maybe I would do a demo of 4K capturing, and then upload a demo 4K video, like when we're playing Flight Sim. Maybe I would do like a 4K video and record it and upload it to YouTube at 4K, and just see what quality it would be, how big the file size would be. Like, that'd be pretty neat. Now, I wouldn't have my overlay or whatever, right? But it would just be like a raw video of gameplay just to test it, right? 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 Like, that's what I should be able to do, right? Like, I jumped through hoops here to get this going, right? So, I should be able to do this today, right? Why is this getting... There we go. Right? No problems. I bought the PC. I bought the capture device because I can't use an internal. I got to use an external. So I went out of my way. I bought this expensive capture device. It's here. I should just be able to plug it in and use it, right? No, I can't just plug it in and use it because I'm Darkside Phil and everything has to be difficult. No, I can't just plug this into my new PC and capture at 4K. Why would I be able to do that? That's what everyone else can do, but not Phil Burnell. For Phil Burnell, I gotta walk on fucking glass. I gotta get through barbed wire. I gotta dodge fucking sniper shots. There's bombs coming down. I have to roll out of the way and go through the trenches to be able to plug this in and use it with my fucking PC. So, what's wrong? I'll tell you what's wrong. You ready for this? Would you like me to show you what's wrong? I'm gonna do it live right now. Let's do this. Right fucking now, let me show you what's wrong. Little Swiss Army knife here. I'm gonna cut open the labels. Alright? Here we go. Gotta cut the stickers off the sides. Both sides? Yep, they got it on both sides. They want it sliding all over the place. Okay. Live Gamer Ultra 2.1. AverMedia box. Live unboxing. Ready? You can customize your RGB by downloading a utility. Will I bother with that? I don't know if I will bother customizing the RGB on my box. That sounds pretty ridiculous to me. What they're showing, you could have optional gamepad audio or headphone audio plugged into this thing. I don't know why I would ever do that. They're showing that you can have HDMI in from a game console or PC, HDMI out to your TV, and then the USB connection to your PC where you will capture from. Okay, so they're showing all of this in a diagram, basically. Here's your warranty. You know, your warranty. They're also advertising other products they do. They do microphones, they do cameras, they do the whole rigmarole, okay? Wow, this is actually much smaller than I thought it was. This is really small. That's, like, tiny, actually. And I wonder, I guess the RGB is on the front? I guess so. That's what it looked like on the box. So I guess this lights up and gives you RGB colors. This is the smallest one I think I've ever had. This is much smaller than the previous ones that I've had. And I got white. You get it in black as well, but I said, hey, both of my PCs are white. I'll order it in white. Okay? So taking a look. USB right there, which is the new standard, right? What they call it, USB 3 or whatever. HDMI out, HDMI in, and the two headphone ports. That's it. There's nothing else to it. Very simplistic, okay? Cool. So far, I see no reason why this wouldn't work with my PC right now, right? Okay, let's keep going. Let's open up the box here. What does it come with? So it comes with headphone cable. I don't know why I would use that. I'm probably never going to plug anything into that, right? An actual up-to-standard HDMI cable, which is nice. Incredibly short, but it's nice to always get an up-to-standard HDMI cable with an HDMI device. Looks cool, right? And then the USB cable. You see the problem? You might not understand it at first. I'm going to explain it in a second, but you may understand it right now. Okay? So, this device comes with a USB cable that is USB Type-C to Type-C. That's the cable. Okay? That's fine when you're plugging it into the device. Now, I have to plug this into my new capture and a streaming PC, correct? Well, do I have USB-C ports on that PC? Yes, I do. Oh, I do. There's one on the front. There's one on the back. And in fact, the one on the back even is the correct format. Or is it? Because I looked into it, and I wanted to see if I plug this in, will it work? Well, guess what? The USB port on the back of my computer, on the motherboard, is C. There is a C. Absolutely, there is. However, it's USB 3.1. What does that mean? It means it does up to 5 gigabits, megabits per second, 5. Okay? If you want to do 4K video, you need 10 gigabits per second, or megabits per second, whatever the fuck it is. I don't even know. And that is USB 3.2. Wow! This is genius shit, isn't it? I mean, we really needed 17 different standards of USB. It really makes sense. It's totally easy to figure out, isn't it? Because you might be saying, I don't even get it. I'm not even kidding you. There's a standard USB port that's usually either black or white. There's USB 2, which is blue. And then there's USB 3, which is red. But then there's different formats of the red one. Some are 3.1. Some are 3.2. Okay? Now, I do have good news. My new PC does have USB 3.2 ports, but they don't take the USB-C standard. They take USB-A, which is the old USB cords, the ones that we all know, the long rectangles. It's colored red, so you can't miss it. They're back there. I have 2 of them, but they're the wrong port. So now I have to buy an adapter so that this cable can fit into a standard USB port size, but it has to be the 3.2 standard. So I have to order this off of Amazon, rush shipping, get here as soon as possible, and it has to be the special USB 3.2. Can't be an older style adapter, can't be blue, can't be white or black, has to be red, and it has to be the 10 gigabits, megabits, speed, whatever it is. You have to get it. Now, some people are saying, well, you don't need that, you could just get a cable. I mean, you're right, it doesn't matter. I could either get the adapter for this cable, or I could get another cable. It doesn't matter. I could do either. I've already bought. I saw the quickest shipping was an adapter will come on Saturday. Because it's Thursday, it's Thanksgiving. Nothing's coming tomorrow. The earliest anything can come is on Saturday. So I ordered an adapter. It's coming on Saturday during the day. And that one will turn this C into an A. It'll still be 3.2. Then I can plug it into the back of the PC. Then I can get 4K. Okay? Now, I can use this with my PC right now, but it won't do 4K. It'll do 1440p, 1080p, and below. It won't work 4K. If I try to do 4K, it's going to give me an error that's like data error because it's not going to be able to do the speed you need for 4K. All right? It'll do the pass-through, but it won't capture in 4K. It'll actually give me an error. Okay? So, how dumb is that? That it's like, dude, how many, seriously, how fucking complicated do they have to make all this shit? Why does there have to be 10 different versions and standards of USB? There's the original, then there's type A, then there's the one that used to be the weird double weird edge, then there's the one where they made it sharper, then there's the one where they rounded it. So there's like 4 different types of USB-A. Then they went to 2.0, which is the blue cord, which is the higher data rate. Then they went to 3.0, then they went to 3.1, then they went to 3.2. What the fuck is their problem? Just make a new cable at this point. Seriously, that way there's no confusion. If they just made a whole new port on here and a whole new port over there, no one would be confused about what's what. This is stupid. What it is this is so dumb. It's just, it hurts the consumer. There is no fucking way that a normal person who isn't completely invested in tech would understand any of this. All right? I know, because I'm trying to understand it, and I'm just getting caught up with it. But there's people who are techie people who I know who are helping me with this, and they're like, fuck, didn't realize it has that cable. Now you gotta order an adapter. Fuck, why doesn't your motherboard have that? I know. This is stupid. This is stupid. It's just insane. So, today, if you want me, we can try to get this working with the PC. We could. That's up to you guys. I'm going to leave today's stream up to you. If you just want to do 3 hours of flight sim, we could do that. Or we could plug this in. We could get the RGBs going. I can use the app to get the RGBs programmed. As important as that is, right? And then we can get it working. We could do up to 1440p quality. We could test it if you want. All right? Or we could just say, forget this. Don't do it yet. Wait for the adapter to come. And then we could try to do it maybe next week. Because, I'm not here Saturday. So, Sunday, Monday, maybe we can mess it down. It's up to you guys. I really don't care. At any point, we're going to have a good day no matter what. It's going to be a chill stream. All right, so I'm not nervous or anything. But, yeah, is it frustrating that this is the state of current technology? Fuck yeah, it is. This is incredibly stupid, is what this is. It shouldn't be like this. This is dumb as hell. All right? The other thing, I'm actually very grateful. I ordered 15-foot, 8K, 2.1 HDMI cables because look how short this cable is. This isn't even 3 feet, I don't think. Maybe 3 feet? So this can only be 3 feet away from my capture PC. Okay? And it has to be plugged into the back, into the special 3.2 USB port. So it's got to be really close to the PC. So I need those long cables to run across my whole floor. I wouldn't even be able to put this in the middle. Like right now, the capture device that I'm using is in the middle of my floor, and it's got a USB 2 cable running from it into an extension, and that extension is running to the back of my capture PC. I couldn't do that, because it has to be 3.2. Can't use extension cables at all. So instead, I have to rely on this incredibly short cable, and then I have to use 2 insanely long HDMIs to run across my floor to my capture, or my PC, or console, and then to my TV. It's ridiculous. Absolutely, positively, 100% ridiculous shit. Anyway, so obviously I'm venting a bit, because why on earth, especially for when you're spending a lot of money, none of this is cheap. This was around $200. It was on sale for under $200 because of Black Friday. I think it was like $180. So this is expensive. The PC is expensive. The cables, everything's expensive. So why is it all fucking so complicated? It's like they want to torture the consumer. Hey, how can we make this as annoying as possible so there's no way that you could ever actually use something when it arrives? That you just always have to go back and get something else, something else, something else. It's just wild and stupid. Seriously, if I were working with these companies, I'd be like, hey, dunces, make it dunce-proof. You know what this is the perfect example of? I'm going to tell you. Something like this or that PC situation, this is called, I'm book smart, but I have no street smarts whatsoever, right? I can make the good piece of hardware, but I don't actually have, like, the brain to apply it to real life. A normal consumer buying this product just wants to plug it in and use it. They don't want to have to buy adapters, extra cables, do a super specific USB port on their computer. They just want to have it work. So do that. Make it so that it works. It's too expensive to include 2 USB cables, one for Type A and one for Type C. That's too hard to do. What would have been an extra $1 to the production cost of this unit? Too hard. Oh, very, very difficult, right? This is so dumb. Again, make it work. Same thing with people who program all this like YouTube and shit, right? So they program something and it doesn't work Oh, I thought it would work. Well, did you test it? Are you someone who actually uses YouTube at a line level every day? Or are you a nerd who sits behind a desk and codes all day and just assumes this is how it works, but you don't know if that's how it works because you don't actually use the site? Duh. I guess I'm a nerd. Yeah, you are. You are. And that's who makes these kind of products. That's who made that motherboard over there that has 17 different kinds of USB on it, none of which makes sense. They should all be the standard. None of this makes any sense. This is all techie people who don't have real-life application, and then they fuck everything up. And then the normal person buys it and gets it. I can't use it. Why not? I spent the money. I worked hard. I earned the money. I spent the money. Now let me use your device. No. Here comes 17 more hurdles before you can use our device. What's your fucking problem? Live in the real world. Unreal. Okay. Anyway. Oh, yeah? Battleduck says, and this is just consumer grade. He says, actually, when you go to even higher grade, so you're talking like, you know, business level or really high-end techie level. He goes, when something goes wrong, it's insane. Like, yeah, it's stupid. Like, who wants to spend all this time? You know what I'm saying? I don't understand it. Like everyone's to blame here. Number one, why doesn't my motherboard have a USB-C 3.2? Why not? I don't know. It has a USB-C 3.1 and a USB-A 3.2. Why doesn't it have the C? I don't know. Because they skimped? Because they cut corners? Would it have cost an extra $2 to put that on the motherboard? Why can't they include the cable in here? That would have cost an extra $1 of production. You know what I mean? Like, oh, so to go the extra mile for the consumer has become too tedious, too hard for these companies. They can't do it so you can just use everything. Instead, the consumer needs to somehow do 500 hours of research. Like that PC, when I bought it, no one could figure out what motherboard it had. It's not listed anywhere. You can't find the model motherboard. It wasn't until I got that PC and I opened it and I read the model number off the motherboard that people could actually look it up on the internet and find out what it actually had. Why? Is it too hard to list the actual stats of the fucking device someone's buying, you know, from your business? Too difficult. Anyway, so I received a $1.10 tip from the Diarrhea Gargler. That's pretty par for the course, isn't it? There you go. I cured it with my brain says, well, if they actually listed the motherboard model, fewer people would buy the PC. You're probably right. So again, what is it? It's a company trying to cut corners, a company trying to scam the consumer. It's messed up. What kind of a world do we live in, man? Right?